morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Barbadian schoolgirl Sha'Tanya Carter has been through much upheaval and adversity, but she's finally ready to graduate secondary school and become her best self.
Sha'Tanya on the scene.
You ain't just on the scene, you on fire, girl.
The birth of her best self, however, requires the death of her worst self.
The person you were is a rival to the person you can become.
From her love of recklessness and hype buses, to her hair gel addiction, to the very roots of her ghetto socialization, all things that limit her must be tried by fire.
What trouble is this now?
Before Sha'Tanya can ascend to her true calling, she must survive encounters with criminals,
Open the door before my finger get heavy.
police officers,
Don't even think about running. Show yourself.
vindictive rivals,
That constipated earphone can't be serious.
and death itself, as she faces perils like never before.
Wait, this man ain't using brakes. Error.
How will Sha'Tanya survive these perils? What will it take for her to become her best self? What does that version of Sha'Tanya even look like?
Time to step into the future.
Find out in this epic conclusion as the refining fires of life finally give rise to a new Sha'Tanya Unlimited.
Sha'Tanya Unlimited by Mario Herbert is now available for pre-order.
Listen, Sha'Tanya is doing it. Sha'Tanya is back for the Sha'Tanya Unlimited. Mario Herbert joins us on set. Good morning. Welcome back.
Good morning to you too, and good morning, Barbados.
Hey, it's always so good to see you. We have all the books here on display. I mean, this story is just so amazing. I cannot wait, Mario. How many times do I have to tell you this to see Sha'Tanya on screen? I love the books. I love reading, but I really feel that the essence of this needs to come to the silver screen, if not the small screen, for us to be able to enjoy Sha'Tanya. So again, congratulations on another book in the series, Sha'Tanya Unlimited. Talk to me about this particular one.
Okay, so this one is special because it's not only wrapping up Sha'Tanya's story, but it is also the first book that is set after Adrian Liberty. And so it also kind of gives you a little Adrian epilogue also. So it wraps up all eight books. And well, because her stories were running concurrently with the Adrian stories, there were some aspects of who she was that I couldn't fix or touch because it still needed to line up with what you were seeing in the concurrent Adrian tales. But this book now, as is set after Adrian at Liberty, I can now sort of fix her and make her her very best self, right? So things that we've come to know as quintessential Sha'Tanya. Everything is on the table now for some tweaking. So her love of reckless vans, I get to kind of challenge that. I have a story that is possibly one of my favorite stories ever, called The Great Hair Gel Apocalypse, that I sort of get to challenge her upon her hair gel addiction.
Don't forget the powder in her neck.
Well, I will let you read and see if we fix that. So yeah, there are things that we will definitely fix to make her very best self. But how we fix or tweak is going to be interesting, because the version that comes out is like, it still feels like her. So I am not changing who the character is, but just basically being able to amplify the best parts of her and refine the worst parts of her.
A little earlier this morning, we spoke with another author, and we were talking about how important it is to be authentic in telling these stories. You know, what type of feedback are you getting from people in sharing these tales that are literally coming out of our neighborhoods, on our vans, on our streets? You know, the characters in your books truly feel like people we can relate to.
Yes, yes. So yeah, that's what everyone says. I can relate. I can see myself in what you have here. I have had similar experiences. I think one of the best compliments that I've ever gotten, normally I wouldn't consider it a compliment, but a friend of mine that is a very avid reader said, you know, she told me she loves the Adrian books, but she never really likes reading men that write female protagonists because they never get it right. And she read the first Sha'Tanya, and she calls me and says, boy, when I was reading that book, I forgot you were a man. And I saw that as a big compliment in that regard, because it is showing that persons are finding the characters and the situations they're in relatable, and as long as I can get you to relate to it, I can then teach you life lessons and not feel like I am preaching to you, you know.
Looking at all the books that you've produced, there are now 8 of them, yes?
Yes.
Where do you feel you've come with these stories, with these life lessons from Adrian at Large and the very first book that you've written to this place where we see Sha'Tanya Unlimited, and you're kind of wrapping up the story through the series? Because when we got to number 4, you were telling me we are winding down, and here we are with double that and still kind of going with the story.
Well, I think I can say this time we are winding it down. Yeah, but it was really just a matter of the life lessons that we learned through Adrian's tales were very poignant. They were very important. However, there was still room, because Adrian is a male. You know, there was room that if we did a female, I could kind of teach different things. So their 2 experiences are very different. I purposely made the 2 characters very different. So she is arguably coming from a worse place than him. And that has been rewarding in terms of showing persons that it doesn't matter where you come from, that whereas with Adrian, he is like a naturally smart chap, but now she is someone that is a little more academically challenged. So
She has to work a little harder.
yes,
Yeah.
and I found it important to show that even people that might not be what the society may see as smart, that they still have it in them. It might require them working harder, and in her case, it might require her just kind of finding her niche, you know. So it has been very rewarding to bring her to her best self, despite all of the hardships, despite the environments that she has come out of, which would say someone like you cannot make it, you know.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Now, you know, it doesn't end here. I know that you've been working with a number of young authors as well. And we have something new to introduce to the audience. So we're going to be meeting some of the young authors, but there's also an upcoming book featuring them. Yes?
Yes.
So let's talk a bit about that quickly before we take a break and bring them in.
Right. So, yeah, it has been very rewarding to add to the Barbadian cultural landscape using these books, but it was also very important for me that when persons like myself go off the scene, that the next generation of authors is also strong. So from 2022, I have been doing some young authors workshops. So it has been maybe even more rewarding being able to publish them. Like, it is always a really good feeling to get a book in hand. But I have to say, having their book in hand arguably felt better than having mine. Just knowing where that can go for the future of the Barbadian cultural landscape.
All right, good stuff. So coming up, we're going to meet Amal, Elisha,
Yes.
Alyssa, Zane, it's Zane,
Yes.
and Peter. That's all coming up next. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
16 minutes now to go before 8 o'clock. I'm so pleased to have this one. Mario Herbert presents Young Authors Volume 1. So he had an Easter workshop. We kind of hinted to that a little earlier. And we have some of the young authors joining us on set now. We almost had to add chairs. You know how it goes. But everybody fits, so it's good to have them here. We have with us Amal Tate, Elisha Tate. Did I get it right?
Yes.
Okay. Alyssa Blackman, Zane Brown, and Peter Drakes. I got everybody's name right?
Yes.
Have to make sure, because I know sometimes there are accents and this and that. Like Sha'Tanya, I called Sha'Tanya's name wrong first time I saw it, so I just wanted to make sure. Congratulations to all of you on having your very own book. How does that make you feel?
Great.
Y'all don't sound like
Great. Happy.
Yeah? Yeah, that
Excited.
certainly sounds that way. All right, so let me start with you, Amal. Talk to me a little bit about the workshop that you were able to do during the Easter holiday. Were you always interested in becoming an author and writing?
Well, before I did the Easter workshop, me and my friends, Peter and Elisha, we were doing like a comic club and making comic books. And then my mom told me that I'll be going to a story writing camp like during the Easter. So I got excited for that. To then find out that my friends are there made it even better. And then during the camp, I was able to make my skills of story writing better.
So you strengthened it. What's the name of your story in the book?
The Legendary Diamond.
The Legendary Diamond. All right, I look forward to hearing more about that. Let me move on to you, Elisha. Tell me about your love for writing. Did you always want to write? And how did this camp come about? Because it wasn't lost on me that Amal said, my mother told me I was going to a camp. Elisha. So tell me a little bit about, how you felt about attending the camp.
When I first heard about it, I thought it was just going to be me inside of it, so I wasn't too sure about it. But when I heard about my friends, I was happy because I thought we could work together.
All right, good stuff. So tell me, how did you hear about the camp and how do you feel about how things unfolded with the camp, now having your story published in a book?
It started out with my mom just asking me if I wanted to go to a writing camp. And I was like, yeah, I need something to do other than just sitting down doing nothing. So I went ahead and did the camp. And then I realized I had a love for it, so I just kept on doing it.
Good stuff. All right, Peter, tell me about your story in the book.
My story is called Spaceship Adventures, which is it's about my love for like space and also mysteries. So there's one main character who has to go fix a problem in the ship caused by a meteor. And then when he actually goes to fix the problem, he gets attacked by an unknown organism. And then that gets solved. And then they fix the hole and they continue on their journey.
Oh, wow. It's so wonderful to hear you guys so into your stories. And last but certainly not least, Alyssa, your story is called The Intergalactic Pup.
Yes, please.
And you've been writing, you wrote your book at 9 years old.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so tell me what developed your love for writing, first of all.
At school, I used to write little fictions about the things I loved and drew in it too. And then mommy started to notice that I used to have like a bunch of these books that were for school with my little stories in them, and she had the idea to put me in camp because she thought that because I have such a wild imagination, that my imagination would be great for stories. And here I am writing about madness, but it's beautiful to me.
I love it. Mario must be a very interesting cat with you for the summer camp with these little ones. How did it go from your perspective, being able to work with these very, very young authors, most of them 9 and 10 years old?
Yeah, it went very well. I have to say this group has been very enjoyable to work with. I had someone as young as 8, and they took the information really easily. I actually had an 8-year-old mastering metaphor in one day.
Wow.
And had not been exposed to it yet at school, you know. So yeah, they encouraged me to go and take the workshop inside schools. So I also did workshop at St. Luke Brighton Primary and Milton Lynch. And there are kids from those schools that are also inside this book alongside them, right? So yeah, they really made me want to do more.
Absolutely. And I want to read each and every one of these stories. Is called, Mario Herbert Presents Young Authors, Volume 1. And there are quite a few stories in here. Make sure you get on out and get it. Again, where are the books available, Mario?
Okay, so you can get both of the books at UWI Bookshop. You can pre-order them now at marioherbert.com and youngauthors.barbados.com. Now, both of these books are launching on Sunday, so they will be available at UWI Bookshop from next week. But additionally, the kids are going to be in Sky Mall Saturday, the 24th, to sell and sign the
so you can
book,
get your autographed copies of the book.
Yes. So
all right, good stuff.
For those of you interested in Young Authors Volume 1, you can pass through Sky Mall
on Saturday. From what time?
Well, I have to verify time.
All right, well, just let us know and we're going to share. Okay. I want to thank all of you for coming. Congratulations on getting your stories out. And we certainly look forward to sharing each and every one of the stories. Again, congrats.
Thank you.
Good job, man. And good stuff, Mario. I see now where what you said that is even more pleasing to hold this book and it has been to kind of publish your own books as well. This most certainly will not be the last time you're going to be seeing these young authors here on Morning Barbados. We look forward to sharing their stories as time goes on as well.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.